In this video, I'm going to show you a trick that not enough people use and is definitely super helpful in a lot of situations. This is more so a trick for the people who are in the lower to mid-level brackets, because people higher up are going to know about this and you'll use it accordingly anyway. People around my bracket and lower definitely don't take advantage of this, and it can be a game changer. In fact, anything that makes the enemy call out that you're probably scripting or something like that when you're not is going to be a big deal. So in this video, we're going to talk about shift queuing abilities and how you can use it to your advantage. Let's go. So what exactly is shift queuing and how can it benefit you? Shift queuing is something that you can use to set multiple commands to be immediately done after the original command has ended. An example of this is while you're teleporting with a hero to a lane, you can then shift queue, for example, a blink or a stun or any sort of ability to be immediately and instantly cast on arrival, so that you don't have to then have the human reaction time to actually implement this. This can be used in many different ways as well. I'm going to show you a few examples, but I'm not going to be able to show all of them in the game, so you'll just have to think, hey, could this actually work with my hero? And I'm just going to say there's a lot of heroes and items and abilities in the game that this can be useful. So first of all, this video idea, I actually am going to be giving credit to one of my viewers. Your comment is on screen right now, so thank you very much. We're going to use your example as the main example here that shows exactly what this is. We're going to teleport in with Nature's Prophet onto this hero here that you can see on screen, and I'm going to shift queue Sprout, Hex, and an Orchid, and this is all going to happen instantly the second we arrive. As you can see, it all gets applied very quickly, and then we can start attacking, and there's no response time available for this enemy hero. All the enemy could do here is be out of range of my stuff as I arrive by using a blink dagger or a force staff or just moving very quickly away. Otherwise, this is exactly what's going to happen. So as you can see, shift queuing can be super useful because of how instant things can happen. Now, there's a few other situations where this can be super useful, so let's talk about it. Very quick reminder before we get started, if you haven't clicked the sub button and you enjoy this sort of content, please do click that sub button. It helps out an absolute ton to grow the channel. The channel is fairly small but growing pretty quickly. I appreciate it so much. Let's get to the video. Okay, so shift queuing is pretty simple to do. You hold your left shift and then you do any command, and as you can see, you get these like little orders here, and they're going to slowly go through them until your hero is completely done. So you got 4 left here, movements 3, and then 2, and then 1, and then eventually he will just stand still because he's done with what I've told him to do. But this also gives you better reaction times and stuff. Well, not really reaction times, but things will happen quicker because the game's already been told to do it, so it'll happen the second it can, as soon as possible. But it's got many other uses as well. So we've got a demo mode set up here with some heroes for examples, and then you can apply that sort of thinking and logic to your heroes yourself in your own games, whether you think it can work or not. But here's one that everybody can do and you should definitely take advantage of, and that's with this illusion rune. So grab this illusion. Now, a lot of people would grab this and chuck it. Say this is the enemy jungle over here, right? You would chuck it at the enemy jungle and you would just leave it because you're like, it's going to stand there and be a ward. It's going to give me vision. When instead of doing that, shift queue some movement commands around and have your illusion walk around like a normal person would. Not only that, but you can make it go behind trees. You can scout out different areas that you wouldn't normally be able to get to, or the vision wouldn't give if it just stood still. And you can have your guy walking around. Now, if the enemy don't have a ward here and they walk around the corner behind this tree and they see your illusion, they're probably going to react pretty quickly because it's actually moving around rather than, you know, like just stood still doing nothing. You're going to throw a stun at it. They may panic and ult it or something with a certain hero. You just don't know. But it's worth doing this because 1, you get the movement, and 2, you don't have to, like, I can go play my own game now and not worry about it. I can go back, check later. Yeah, he's still going, and it's just scouting that area for me. You can do the same with this guy. You can make him do whatever you want. And it's going to last for the majority of the duration. As you can see, the illusion's pretty much gone here, and he's still got a few to go here. So just leave him be, and he's scouting over there. Super useful for illusions, good for baiting abilities, good for getting extra vision, and it just looks more natural of a movement for the actual hero. So worth doing, absolutely. Next, we also saw the example that I gave earlier with teleporting with Nature's Prophet, shift queuing items to immediately happen. So obviously, if we TP in here, we can click the Hex without shift queuing, and then we've got to do this, and then we've got to do this one, and then we've got to do BKB. You know, it's going to take time. But if you just shift queue all of it, you can have it all happen immediately. So we're going to do this, and teleport, shift queue this, and then we're going to immediately let go. All happens straight away. No way Centaur can react to this. So again, shift queuing gives you insane response times to things that people just aren't going to be able to react to it. There's no way they're going to be able to get the BKB off quick enough unless they do it before you arrive, all this sort of stuff. So take advantage of shift queuing in that aspect. Just to show you an example though, if I TP in here and shift queue, then we get our little Centaur. we can't get this Nature's Prophet in time with our own Hex before his Hex goes up on us. So it kind of just is a little bit quicker. Now, another hero which is super damn useful for this is Sand King. Sand King with his ult is a channeled ability, which then you can blink afterwards, and you can shift Q the blink to happen immediately after you've channeled, to not waste any damage over here. So Void's over here, so he takes no damage to show that we don't waste anything. And you can also shift Q the stun and the invis, but you'd have to decide whether that's worth doing. If the hero's moving around or not, and you know, it may be worth doing. So we're going to use the stun, and we're going to channel shift Q our blink and our stun. As you can see, the ult is all the damage over here. Void took 0 damage, and we didn't have to worry about it at all. We just channel it, shift Q the blink, shift Q the stun. We go to sleep until it's all done, right? It's nice and done. You can also shift Q the invis if you wanted to. So Sand King is super useful. And if you play Sand King and don't shift Q your blink after ultimate, this is so helpful. Super useful. Definitely something you should take advantage of. It's just going to guarantee everything goes a little bit smoothly. You don't cancel your ult somehow. You don't waste any damage over here by not blinking quick enough. Something that you should absolutely know about. Now the next thing is Tinker. People like to blame Tinkers for being macros. It's true, macros do exist for Tinker, but a lot of people just shift Q stuff. The good old one is, you know, rearm and then soul ring. A lot of people will do this so you get an instant soul ring. While rearming, if you just shift Q the soul ring or a blink, whatever, you can do all these things immediately. These all happen straight away because you shift Q'd. So we're gonna rearm again. And then we can use things like Shiva's Guard immediately, a Hex immediately, BKB, everything, right? Immediately, straight away. So we're going to rearm, shift Q, and then we're going to Hex and Shiva's Guard. The second we arrive, it's all done for us. We don't have to click them all. We don't have to worry about it. So if you are TPing into an ally, for example, who is like nearby, you can TP onto this guy. Let's just rearm first, actually. You can TP onto this guy, so do a blink, do a Hex, do a BKB, Shiva's Soul Ring, and boom, it all happens straight away. Nice and easy, super fast. This guy gets called a macroer, gets called a scripter, but actually he's just shift queuing things. Now this won't work if you are on cooldown with things. You can't shift queue stuff that's on cooldown because it has to be ready to be able to use. So you can't use it like every single time. But the whole Shiva's Guard thing immediate after arriving, the Hex immediate after arriving, is all things you can take advantage of with this hero. The same goes with laser. You can shift queue the laser. I think it gets a bit weird once you start shift queuing like rockets and stuff from memory. Let me have a look. I'm pretty sure it does. If we do this, we shift queue the laser, the rocket, the rearm, the Hex. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work instantly, right? There's some reason he walked over there instead of blinking. But yeah, you see how long it takes between each thing. So a little bit weird when you start including the rockets and stuff, but as for the actual other stuff, like just the instant cast stuff, works straight away, nice and fast. Don't have to worry about it. All of this happens immediately. Beautiful. Now the final thing I'm going to talk about before we end the video is this Void here. Now Void doesn't need to shift Q his ult because you can just press it when you blink, right? But we're actually talking about the Centaur here. You'll notice that I give the Centaur a Scythe of Vise. The reason for this is when the Centaur gets chronoed, we can shift Q the Scythe on this Void, and then the second that the chrono ends, we're going to immediately Hex the Void. We don't have to worry about timing. It's going to happen straight away purely because we shift Q'd it. And even if he's attacking us like this, the second I get a chance, I'm going to get Hexed, and you can just either get the hell out of there, or you can go and kill him, whatever you want to do. You can do this when you're stunned, you can do this if you're chronoed, you can do this whenever. So shift queuing is super useful, not only for movement, not only for like, you know, keeping up with like attack commands for clearing waves, but for instantly hexing people, for instantly doing any command afterwards. It is very, very useful in many situations. Apply it to your heroes if you haven't already. And that's pretty much it. But hopefully you found this useful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. If you have any tips for other people, leave them in the comments down below. Sub to the channel if you are new around here. And other than that, I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.